It is a very good day to you wherever you're watching the program again, development segment on the platform of TNN TV channels. Today, we have found ourselves in the very citadel of learning, the Fedral Polytechnic Ile-Oluji, seated in Ondo State, and we're going to be talking to the rector of this noble institution. He has contributed and still contributing immensely in the development and the growth of this noble institution. He's going to do proper justice to some of the things we needed to know as for what people have actually been saying, that this is one of the fastest growing institutions, I'm talking of polytechnics, in Africa. How this come to be is in the best position to give us the nose of what we needed to have. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I bring to the show for this moment Professor E.A Fasakin. Having us today is highly very interesting because it's a clear indication that you are a man that is always ready for the service of your fatherland. As an educationist, of course a professor, rector of these noble polytechnics, how would you describe the Fedral Polytechnic Ile-Oluji, to be precise?
Yeah. Thank you very much, and thanks for having me here. And I want to welcome you to this our very young institution. It's a very, very young institution. We're just 5 years plus.
Wow.
And I think it's a miracle child. And many journalists, many people have described us as calling us adult at 5, because you see a young person at the age of 5 doing what an adult is doing. So we really thank God and thank people that have been supporting us to get to this place. My name is Professor E.A Fasakin. I'm an agriculture specialist in fisheries. I was a former deputy vice chancellor, academic from Fedral University of Technology before coming here. So I think it was by the grace of God that I'm here. I never thought of coming here. Never thought of coming in here or working in Polytechnic, because my life has been in university. My university person, but they are all the same. My university is Federal University of Technology, which is also related to Polytechnic. Where I was sought for to start a new school here. So we thank God for what God has done for us for the past 5 years. We came here and then we saw nothing. This place was void. There was nothing, not even a single seat to sit down. So we started all over from scratch. So we are here today. By the time we go around and see the edifice and those things that we have taught, we are in our permanent site, which is something I believe very commendable. And now we thank God for himself, and then for the funding agencies that we have contacted and responded to this. Maybe in the course of discussion we will keep on talking about this. Well, for starting a school from the scratch, you have to do a lot of paperwork. And we started with that by having the academic brief, and then the programs we want to do. We started with that, the master plan, and also also have our plan for the next 5 years when we started. That is what we describe as strategic plan. All these things require a lot of work underneath, and these are some of the things that people cannot see. They can't see, you cannot touch them, you cannot see, but it involves a lot of work, and they are very monumental. Even securing where to start, where are we going to start, and then all those kind of things, getting students. So the first thing is getting place to sit, getting place to start. You know, it's not an easy task because we have to look for consult state government to release some infrastructure, local government, state government for a startup, and that's, we have not gotten those places. We won't start. The school will not even exist because the school cannot exist in vacuum. There must be structure. So we got those structure. I think that was the first achievement. And when we got that structure, then we have to pursue programs that we are going to do, because we are here without students, then there's no school. The school is established for students. So my priority then is, after getting those papers, the next thing is to ask for programs. Programs we are going to start with. We are able to do that. We are able to have 5 programs accredited
Successfully.
Yes, which is very uncommon. Very uncommon with some of these polytechnic that were established at the same time. You know, while others were able to settle for 2 or nothing. So we were able to settle for 5. We had the successful interim accreditation for 5 programs. That is how we started. We got it, and then we recruited students. So, and I must say that for the first 2 years, there was no funding. By the time we came late, the budget had been concluded, so we are not budgeted for. So for 7.5 months, we have nothing. We didn't get salary, we were able to get anything. So it was rough, so but able to do. Yeah, it's part of the challenges. It was a very tough challenge when there's no salary and when there was no money. So we could not even recruit the staff. What are we going to use in paying them? There was no salary. So it's only in November that year. I came in April 1st, 2015. So we're able to get something which we can prove out to incur expenditure due to money given to us to start the school. So that is what, when we were able to recruit the first set of students, the first set of staff. So after accreditation, we were able to, through JAM, we were able to admit some students. So, but in terms of physical structures, you see, it was my determination that we cannot remain in all these rented apartments and all those things. My determination was move straight to the permanent site. You see, this place was forest. This is a forest. They just pointed the forest to us that this is where we are supposed to start the school. So we have to open up the school. And what I decided to do is to open up the school, we have to construct road. You know, and I believe we can make basic infrastructures available, like road network, then electricity. So when the money comes, we have money for buildings. We can easily locate where the building will be. So we're able to do the road after doing the master plan. So we fit those things. And the major, we have takeoff fund. Government approved takeoff fund for us, but we did not accept that takeoff fund until 2018. That was February 28, and the work had to start March 8, 2015. That is when we opened this place up. 2018. So, and with the money, say, okay, what are the basic things that we need to do? What are the priority projects? I know there's need for us to have administrative block. That is where we are. Administrative block, then School of Engineering. We have the auditorium, also infrastructure. So we divided the money into 2. It's 1 billion something for take-off. So to buy the equipment, to buy all those things, because without equipment, there will be no accreditation, which I know. So we have to make provision. So, but, and is also my conviction and the conviction of the management that we must have commodious buildings, not just structures. That we must have structure that will befit us and will be legacy, not lasting legacy. We don't want to build ramshackle something. I have the belief that any student coming from secondary school, I will enter tertiary institution, you must see the difference. So that is why that's what informed us about all these commodious buildings that we are having.
We'll be having an interacting and of course intellectual section with Professor Emmanuel Adedayo Fasakin, who has actually been giving us the full enlightenment of what has actually been transpiring at this citadel of learning. Basically, if you come here, you're going to see the difference for yourself, and that is why we've made it clear that for us to get this information across to the globe, the people must see from the scratch, and that is why it's taking us around the project section. And of course, a lot of people have described him as Professor Projects, and this is what I'm seeing here, and I've seen it for myself, and it's for the people across the globe to also know that something new is actually happening and of course taking place in Ondo State, the Sunshine States. Prof.
Our own ambition is, it goes beyond the Southwest. It even goes beyond Nigeria. You see, what people don't understand that institution, tertiary institution, is universal. You see, and I want to brief you an idea about it. Now when we came, I know it's very important to have linkages and collaboration. And I've walked around and I've been to US, we have relationship with some of the institutions where we have to have an exchange program of students and staff. I saw those schools there. I know what they are doing. And I also myself, I've been to school, I've studied there, and I know what it takes to have a good education. I can imagine when somebody where I've been to, and then they now send their student here, and they come and meet a Ramchapel institution here. No, it must be something comparable. That's why I say it's universal. You know, when you have the input, you have the same input, then the output must be the same. So they will come here, the staff will come here, and then the student, and then when the student now come from there, they will say, oh, that's what it's saying. So I've gone beyond Southwest.
Interesting.
I've gone beyond Southwest. I'm even going beyond Nigeria. You know, we want to set this want to be a model. That's what we are trying to do. A model school for that to see. Unfortunately, the Ministry of Education is also recognizing that. I think about two rectors, young institutions that were established at the same time, they've asked them to come and see, you know, what we are doing here. So it's the thing, we have our own mission, we have our own objective. You see that, yes, we must go beyond our shell here. You see, we must be, if we cannot even be the same, it should be similar to all those big institutions. So yes, I've been to other schools, I know where they are. I'm not saying they are not doing good, they are okay, but we must move above them. And I must tell you, as long as we are in 2019, or 20 years, 2019, the MBT did the ranking of Polytechnic, where I think they had 112 Polytechnic, and we came 13.
Wow.
The young institution, and people are asking how do we do it? But it's the infrastructure. That's why we are here. What you have seen is going to tell you the story of what we are. I was trying to tell you most of this infrastructure that we have here. We are piled up with a lot of things. Get to the School of Engineering University. Get to the ultra-modern library that we have just completed. Get to see the auditorium that we have. School of Management. We have built about 5 schools, solid schools, that can take this institution for the next 10 years without addition. So yes, and you can see the network of road we are trying to do.
we have done it in such a way that when you get to the campus and you will see where the student activities are, the academic side. This is central admin. And then the other side where you have student hostel and so on, is partition. And you see students gravitating to one side. During the day, in the morning, you see gravitating towards the academic. This is the plan. You know, we don't build this school to say that, oh, tomorrow, this is where this thing should be, this way. It's already in the plan. And we have all those kinds of things. So we are trying to be the same. I say we cannot be the same, we must be similar. We're very good institution. Why should government will fund me, I will go abroad, I will see things, I will not translate it. So I look at this as an opportunity for me to translate my vision of what I've seen outside, so that we can get a very good institution. Well, I've told you that's what they call traveling is part of education. I have the opportunity to travel, to study abroad, not only in Nigeria. And even the school where I was coming from, I've been part of the development. See, we just got in the experience. God has enabled me to have the experience, to know exactly what to do and to know what I want. My own idea is to sell my vision to my people, to my staff, to the principal officer. They have to buy into it. I know it takes time, but when they are seeing the evidence, because everybody must be carried along. The staff, the students, everybody, we must be on the same table. And we meet every time. Now, every Monday, I must meet with my principal officers. I must tell them, this is where we are, this is what we want to do. Even when I have an idea, during discussion, things can change. Okay, when we look at it and those things, everybody must carry along all those things. But I have a vision of translating, this place into a model institution. Not only that, I told you we are talking about physical development. I'm also interested in the content. I don't want to be like a snail. Like a snail has a shell. You see, what we are just building in these few years is the shell. But the content must be there. And that is what we can do, the academic, the teaching and research are the component of content development. When we started, we had to look for programs, and we have 5 programs accredited. That is in the interim for us to start. Government want to see it whether we can try and do those. We have tried. Just last week, we have done the full accreditation of those 5 programs. So what we are doing now is to go for HND of those programs. And beside that, last year we had accreditation of 7 additional programs. 7 additional programs. We know that it's relevant. And we are not just monitoring on those programs. We have to carry this assessment. What the community needs, the country needs, even the student, their parents and all those things. So that one has made this school, the destination of first choice for the programs, about the environment, conducive for learning and those kind of things. So we have attracted so many things. In terms of, we are growing gradually. Cannot grow beyond our program. Now we have over 1,000 students. That is the next admission will be almost running to 2,000 or so. So we are expanding and we are growing. Even not arithmetically, geometrically, and we have to send we are not being able to admit all the students that we want to come. This is like a very fast market who are coming. So we are getting things, and then everybody is talking about this young school, but we have limitation to capacity. We are trying to expand, and we have to live by the current capacity.
Okay, let's talk about the presence of the federal government in the school now.
Yeah.
What inputs? I'm talking of the major financial inputs in ensuring that all rights are done at appropriate given time under your watch, and also the partnership with other agencies, which you think has actually affects the positive progress you've recorded.
Yeah, for any school, the major sources of funds is from the government in terms of budget, in terms of personnel, in terms of capital, in terms of overhead, in terms of IGR. But for tertiary institutions for a very long time now, the major source of funding is from the TED fund, which is also a very potent agent of government that assists in building.
I saw the symbol
Let me tell you,
on the entrance.
This school, if I'm to rename this school, I will say this is Polytechnic of TED fund, or TED fund Polytechnic. You see, because there's nothing you have here that you don't have the touch of TED fund in it. The takeoff fund, the special intervention fund, the sonar intervention, and all those things, are from TED fund. Even beyond that, even the fellowship, research, sending staff for staff development, a package. And yes, he's also an agent of government. I know that because the TED fund was established through the agitation of house with them. That yes, there must be a way. If not, the school would have decayed, and it was done through the intervention of all these taxes, educational taxes, and next together. But they now have the wherewithal to support the school. So most of the funds that we are having for development, physical development, and then for research, and then for staff development, majorly from TED fund. Now, the government, through this budgetary something, we have budget now. Initially, we was not budget, but we have budget that we have the personnel budget. Staff are being paid from that, and then the staff are paid regularly. And don't take anybody's government is not indebted to staff. Money is coming to that. Then the other phase is capital. Capital is not something that is reliable. We have 100 billion. At the end of the day, you may not receive more than 50 million in all those things. If you are lucky, that one is great. But it's also supporting something. Then the overhead. Overhead is to run the school. And that is why young schools like us are suffering. Because big school, when they have big IGR, then they can also supplement. We are trying to find our way so that we can increase our IGR base, but we still depend on government for this overhead, And in place like this, where we are not connected with, this is a bush, this is forest, and we have not been connected with the grid line to supply electricity. So we still depend. It is diesel driven. We have a generator all over. It shouldn't be water, borehole, all those kind of things we use in running. And to run an establishment like this on diesel is a lot. What the government is giving us is not enough to even do all those things. And we need to do maintenance and all those things. Then outsourcing. Some of our staff, government is not paying for that, really, because they are not permanent staff. Like cleaners, like security, all those things we have to outsource. That's when we say outsource, we are the one paying. Yes, now for last year, for those people who are still running, we have just over 1,000 plus.
Okay.
But with this new admission, with our numbers, because we have increased the number of courses, we are targeting over 2,000 students.
Okay.
To come. And we are also running part-time courses too.
Okay.
So, and
with the approval from NBT, we're also going to have an outreach program.
Okay.
People are demanding for so many things. You know, the problem we have in this country is the problem of access, access to education. There are many people that are looking for higher institution to get admission, you know, but the opportunity is not there. And for us, we are not only catering for those young ones, the youth, for their education. We are also thinking about working class people, so who have no opportunity, but now while they are working, they can also be schooling. So these are the things we really want to target. We want to help government also be part of the solution to access, access to education and quality education indeed. I key into this at least when I was young. I was playing football, but I lost interest when I had broken leg on the field, so they discouraged me. But I still came into the football, and I have my team. I support my team when they are playing, when I know, locally and then internationally. So, like my team is not doing well now. Arsenal is not doing well. I feel sad about it. Yesterday, we were able to beat another team, so we are happy. So, and these are things that make someone happy. Then, yes, I go to church and interact, and then my wife can have some little things. We play at home, then chat with each other. They are not around now, so but we still chat with them. I feel happy. Well, there are many achievements, monumental, that some of them are documented. That when I see them, I have award, best man of the year, best this, and so many things, thousands of awards. But the one that is very significant, that I believe that God gave me that opportunity, is to be a pioneer rector of an institution. Yes, the ultimate is to become a professor. I never thought of this legacy, then, and those things. Those ones are just addition. Your primary motive is to reach your senate of your profession, and which I reached as far back as 2004. I've been so excited about that. So it's a special day for me. That I know that there are many other ones, but since I picked up job, then the day I had my PhD and those was a part of it. But really, the day I became a professor, I know, yes, I've reached it.
So, think of your career.
Yes.
I must say congratulations
to you. Thank you very much.
Today, it has been a very interesting and interactive section with Professor E.A Fasakin, who has done justice to some of the questions that has been rolling on the air on this noble and citadel of learning, the Fedral Polytechnic Ile-Oluji, where you can see the extra modern projects that has actually stand the test of time, which 21st century can actually be of a living witness. I want to tell you, your first experience or your first visitation to this school will convince you to know that indeed there is a life imparting institution. The Fedral Polytechnic Ile-Oluji, Ondo State, is a living testimony for every parent to be part of the story of a success career of their children. I am your host, Shio Akinde.